And here we are. It warms your heart, doesn't it? No matter what manner of wonders you witness, there's nothing like home. It is what separates us from the barbarians. We are warriors, and we fight to preserve our home. We fight so others won't have to. You are fighting for your family and your home. That makes you a virtuous man. All right, victorious commander. Announce your arrival to the Cloister, and allow us to disband now.
I have wanted to come to Rome for so long. I am almost nervous now. That is what everyone says. Now I get to see it for myself. I'll let you know if I agree. You are happy to be home? They will be quite happy to see you again, I bet. I have no place to stay, of course. I can stay in your home, maybe. Just for now. That is generous. Thank you. I will try to find a place for myself, but it is good to know there is no rush. We will see. Maybe I will hate it. Then I will have to go and find someplace else to be. But I think I will want to stay. If I can find a place to live. You think it will be bad? Maybe you can help me buy a nice Roman stola. Then I will fit in, right? We will go shopping. It will be fun. Why would I want to keep fighting when I don't have to? Fighting is a necessity of life. It is not sport. I did not come to Rome to keep fighting.
Hey. Oh, thanks. Just what every girl hopes to hear. I don't want to return. I don't even know where to go. This is the first time I'm back home. I appreciate that, but I'd better not. I don't want to depend on someone else. I've seen how badly that can turn out. But I appreciate the offer, really. Doubtful, but I'll keep it in mind. Not really. I like it better out there. I don't know. People. There's a lot of people in Rome. I'm not a people person. Maybe I will. Good weather, nice food. What's not to like? And you've got what you wanted too. Romans are born to serve the Republic, and to die for her if necessary.
What is it, Legate? It is inaction that bothers me. Idleness corrodes the warrior's mind. That is an excellent idea. No wonder you are the legatus. There was, but not in Rome. I had a sister once, although sometimes I question my own sanity. Did she truly exist, or did I merely dream of her?
Aristocles teaches us that one may never truly know. We live chained inside a cave, staring at the shadows on a wall.
None can chain Bestia Tabat anymore. I will find out where my sister is. We were both sold as children. She fetched a higher price than I, for she was better in every way than I was. I do not know what became of her. I shall consider your offer.
We shall help you find your sister, Bestia. Failing that, we shall prove her existence or the lack thereof.
You are a capable commander. Mercy is your weakness. Your enemies exist as long as they survive. Playing with your prey is good showmanship. But the longer your foe survives, the more chances he has to turn the tables.
Welcome home, Domine. More than happy. Although it was nice to be back in my homeland once again, I find it quite impossible to not miss Rome. All I need now is a change of clothes and a day trip to the library. Much appreciated. It was good to be back in action, but now my old bones are in dire need of some rest. Do see your mother. I'm sure she's anxious to know we've arrived. I shall be cautious like a lizard. None shall be aware of my presence. It appears we have everything we need against Vitellius Scaevola. But keep in mind, appearances can be deceiving. I know you will.
Legate? I always get this weird feeling when I'm back. Like I've left something of mine behind out there. Now there's a thought. That masseuse from Lutetia. I wonder if she's still around. Brilliant idea, Legate. You know what? For once, I'll do nothing. Nothing at all. And it will be glorious. A word of warning, Legate. My nothing involves a lot of debauchery and degeneracy. In that case, we have a compact. As they say in Rome, live with Kaiso, live your life.
And who are they? The people who say that?
You know, people say that. I'm sure I've heard some people saying that. Couldn't be better. We have conquered Asia, and you have all the evidence you need to put that traitorous Vitellius Scaevola behind bars.
Salve, Lucullus, and his victorious legion. Welcome home.
Salve, Vitus. It is good to be home again. I'm looking forward to a nice bath and a flask of good Carthaginian wine. Maybe two.
May I humbly recommend Vipsanius Marcellus' new batch? People say it's heavenly.
Ah, your recommendations never fail to impress. Do address the legatus, though. This victory was of his doing more than mine.
My apologies, Legate. I neither know nor recognize you. Nonsense! It is high praise from the consul. Now, let us conclude our business. The consul seems to attribute the success of this campaign to you, Legate. Thus it is your duty to formally disband the Legion and relinquish your weapons. Beyond this river lies the Pomerium, and not even a victorious imperator can cross it bearing arms. Attack us? Who could be stupid enough to attack Rome?
Rome is well protected, Legate. Besides, our men are weary. They want to go home.
Domine, if you refuse, your legion will be put to death. That is the punishment for such a transgression.
You have given up your command, but you have retained your virtue. You can always get your command back when Rome needs you again. Ah, you overstate my influence. It is easy to make a sharp sword out of good steel. The river Rubicon marks the sacred line where you stop being a warrior. It is time you learn how you may conquer a more civilized battleground. We shall meet at my villa in 2 nights. There are people I want you to meet prior to the Senate hearing. We must get your villa back somehow. Do not worry about your favorite gladius. Your war gear will be kept safely in my summer villa outside the city.
I hope you are hungry, Domine. Lucullus is known for his lavish feasts. Do not eat anything until I've tasted it first. I wouldn't put it past the Vitellius brothers to poison this entire party just to get you and Lucullus. I am sure Dominus Lucullus has a reason and a plan. I would play along. My personal mission tonight is to taste each and every single dish. You may have to roll me home. I see that Tullius Cicero and Porcius Cato are both here tonight. They are highly esteemed senators of the Optimatus faction. The very same. He is an orator of unmatched skill. He was trained in Greece, you know. To what end? A blade would not help against poison. May Fortuna smile on you, Domine. I'll be here if you need me.
Right on time. Just like a proper legatus. Welcome, son. After this long and arduous campaign, a feast is all you need. We should, and we are. This is our preparation. The guests in this party were not randomly chosen. Our success largely depends on your conduct tonight. Well, you know Marcus Minucius Thermus. He's still thankful for your timely assistance and the saving of his life. You probably remember Marcus Aurelius Cotta as well. He seems to have brought his siblings, Lucius and Aurelia Cotta. The gentleman in the corner is Marcus Tullius Cicero. Making his acquaintance should prove to be very useful for you. I plan for him to become your advocate tomorrow. Last but not least, I've also invited Marcus Porcius Cato, who may or may not represent you as well. You see why it was important for you to be here. All in due time, all in due time. Now, divert your attention to our guests. This is more important than you think. I think not. Just be your charming self and try to win them over. And please relax. You have defeated an army of rebel pirates. This is a simple dinner party. Please, try to refrain from stabbing my guests. Be sure to join us at the table before you leave. I'd like to introduce you to Cato myself. And smile. And do not walk like you have just swallowed a measuring pole.
Look, that young man there. I think that's him.
Really? He looks barely old enough to wipe his own arse, let alone command a legion.
If Lucullus says he won the war, then I have no choice but to believe it.
Ah, it's good to see you again. Have some wine. My leg still hurts every now and then, and all this rain isn't helping. That is nothing compared to what could have been. You have my eternal gratitude. Much appreciated. But I'm eager to return to my propraetorship in Asia. With any luck, Rome will never have need of me again. It is pretty much out of my hands. I'd follow your Patronus's lead. Lucullus is a smart man who usually has a few backup plans. I understand you have all the evidence you need to expose Vitellius Scaevola. It's a strong position. Nevertheless, I would advise caution. Vitellius Scaevola, and especially his brother Lurco, are ruthless and cunning. Expect the unexpected. Only those who matter. Be careful around Cotta. He's still reeling somewhat from the damage that was done to his pride. To a man like Cotta, an honorable death would have been preferable to a humiliating near miss.
Did you know that here Tullius Varus is planning to run for Pontifex Maximus?
I did. I saw him at the Forum the other day, dragging a gaggle of his supporters behind him.
Cotta is just home from a successful military campaign. His election is all but certain.
Doubtless Cotta will be Pontifex Maximus. Varus doesn't stand a chance.
I haven't received an invitation yet. I'll let you know when it arrives.
This might be the last chance to go. They're going to ban that whole collegium again soon.
That fool, Silvius. He's been pushing his luck too long.
You must admit that last orgy was fantastic, though.
Is Pompeius Magnus not coming tonight?
He's in Hispania, I believe.
Shit. Oh, I thought this was my chance to win his patronage.
Of course. The savior of the legions, Lucullus Wonder Kid. I knew you would be here.
Nonsense. It's a party after all. What would be the purpose of these gatherings if we refrained from conversation? I am Aurelia Cotta. Marcus and Lucius are my brothers. It's wonderful to meet you, Legate. We were just talking about you anyway.
Of course we were.
We were discussing how you saved my brother's life and became the hero of the Asia campaign.
Yet my son Gaius was not valuable enough to be saved. I apologize, Legate. They told me you had become close despite how briefly you knew each other. Oh, it's broken. This sword was my father's. It was called Croquet Morse. You were friends with him, weren't you? However briefly. Why don't you keep it? I think I still have the old schematics for it. I'll have a servant bring them to your villa tomorrow.
Other than saving his life?
Lucius!
Oh, please, let him talk, Aurelia. Let everyone witness the failure of Marcus Aurelius Cotta. The man who got himself captured and let his nephew die. The consul who had to be saved by a homeless runt.
Rest assured, my brother is thankful for that, Legate.
Really? Are you so eager to display your shallowness?
It's been rather rainy recently, true. At least the rain drives the mosquitoes away.
Not all of them, it seems.
Does her husband know? Of course, but he doesn't care. They haven't fucked in years. He's got his own women on the side.
Salve! I've heard a lot about you. I am Marcus Tullius Cicero. Is that so? Few people beyond the political circles would know of me. My reputation depends largely on who's talking. To varying degrees, I am sure. I'm an advocate. I defend those whom others seek to incriminate. But I'm sure a career soldier such as you would find the topic rather boring. Indeed. I suppose that makes sense, especially considering the predicament you're in. That depends what you mean by friend. Your Patronus, Lucullus, is a consul. Many people would claim to be his friend. There's a difference between knowing someone and merely knowing someone's name, though. Are we friends? It's easy to get along at a feast as fine as this. It's quite another thing to get along after we have butted heads on the Senate floor.
That is absolutely unnecessary. I'd spend it all on farmlands. People need their food.
Indeed they do. But what good is food if it's obtained by illegitimate means? What do you think about it, Legate?
Fortunately, I know you are good at handling ambushes.
Spoils of war. Unaccounted for and untaxed. Should they be used for development to feed the people of Rome? A simple question.
A fairly strong answer, I'd say. No matter how much you try to legislate, the situation at hand will defy your expectations.
Meet Senators Marcus Porcius Cato and Marcus Tullius Cicero, who will be acting as your attorney tomorrow. At least I hope so.
Unfortunately, things have developed differently, my friend. I've decided to represent Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola instead. Enemies? Most certainly not. I am an advocate. I just represent my client in a specific matter.
Certainly an interesting turn of events. But I've heard you talking disfavorably about the Vitellius brothers before. How do you justify defending them?
What I justify hardly matters. I seek to represent them to the best of my ability, so justice can be served. Precisely. The rules exist for a reason. One must understand the reasons to challenge them.
Rules should never invalidate the reasons for their existence. Morality is beyond law. Legate, What guidelines did you follow when you had to decide the fate of that Triarchus? Why did you let him live? Our feelings often point towards the moral path. I wonder, exactly how utilitarian are you in your thinking? I heard you had the opportunity to bribe a hired guard protecting a spy.
Stop interrogating the man, Cato. Not everyone must adhere to your high standards.
Yet you did not take it. A point well taken.
Depends on the denarii, I suppose. Well, gentlemen, this discussion has become too hypothetical for my tastes. I bid you a good day.
Wale, Cicero. See you tomorrow.
One final question, before I retire as well.
You and your questions, Cato.
I believe if you wanted, you could enter the Pomerium fully armed. Why didn't you? So you follow the rules only because you are strong. This has been an interesting conversation, gentlemen. I thank you for it. But now, with your permission, I shall leave. Welate.
Wale, Cato.
You look tired. Shall we leave? So, did you enjoy yourself? That is what life is.
As per today's augury, a specific issue stood out as being of utmost importance. I bring forth the following relatio, the result of which is to be decided per discretionem, and as usual before the sun sets. The complaint is brought forth by Lucius Licinius Lucullus concerning alleged wrongdoing and infamous conduct by Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola and his brother Vibius Vitellius Lurco. Are both parties present?
I am present.
As am I.
Weird that Vitellius Lurco would be here to do the talking. Where is Scaevola? He is the accused.
Are both parties represented?
I shall represent the defendant.
Very well. For the benefit of all present, would the owner of the complaint restate their accusation? Found out. So you do have evidence. Interesting. Do you accept the accusation, Cicero?
I see no reason to comment at this stage. May I humbly remind the Magistra, he who makes the claim has the burden of proof. We shall rest until sufficient proof is presented to eliminate all shadow of a doubt.
I was just trying to be helpful. The defendant is always at a disadvantage.
I'm sure you mean usually and not always.
As you wish. Present your evidence.
Preposterous. Do you think my client would be foolish enough to commit a crime and put his signature on the evidence?
The evidence is material, Cicero. There is no room for interpretation. The crates do carry Scaeola's signature.
I have investigated them myself. I concur. Is there anyone who would contest my findings?
I admit, the evidence looks damning.
So, do the defendants admit their guilt? Are the Vitelli guilty of all crimes stated or implied?
Of course not. For starters, the evidence proves only treason.
Only? What else is needed to declare this man infamous?
Do not interrupt the speaker.
No harm done. My dear friend Cato is correct. The evidence is enough to declare one infamous. That one is Tiberius Vitellius Scaeola. Nowhere in any findings can you conjure the ability to implicate my client, Webius Vitellius Lurco. That, of course, depends on the nature of the treason, but that's largely irrelevant.
That is literally the topic of our discussion, Cicero. How in the world can you say it's irrelevant?
There simply is no case. Vitellius Scaeola cannot be punished.
Your rhetorical games grow tiresome. You have admitted the evidence is rock solid.
This should be interesting.
I never said he's innocent. As far as I can tell, he's guilty. But he is dead. Therefore, the case is null and void.
Senators, people of Rome, of course the evidence is clear. I accept my brother's guilt. It is a stain on our family name. A stain we will quite possibly never be able to cleanse. You know I love my family. I love my brother more than anything else in this world. Almost anything. The only thing I love more than my own brother is Rome itself. And thus, with sorrow in my heart, I was forced to take his life.
Oh, I see.
Am I? We've met only briefly. I know your opinion of me is low. That's fine. I understand how difficult it is to accept a new member into your family. You should rejoice, though. Now that my brother is gone, you can move back into your own villa. Step outside, senators. You will witness my brother hanging from the old tree. Let him rot there. Do not take him down. Let it be a warning to all those who would threaten Rome, placing their petty family matters over the well-being of our great republic. Let it be known that Webius Vitellius Lurco will never tolerate treason, not even from his own blood.
A decision cannot be reached. This case is non-existent.
That bastard outmaneuvered us. We underestimated how cold-blooded he truly is. This is not good, though. He turned impending defeat into a major victory. We will need a new plan. Go home and lay low for now. Your family needs you.
Domine, we've been awaiting your return. You have a good memory for faces. The name is Marcellus. We have been informed by Vitellius Lurco that the ownership of this villa was transferred to you. As per his orders, we kept the area safe until your arrival. Now that you're back, with your permission, we will take our leave. Valete.
My son? You're back! And with Cineros. Oh, it's so good to see you both safe.
It's good to see you, Domina.
I've missed you so much. You look great. Did you lose some weight? Are you eating well? Has he been eating well, Cineros?
He has, Domina.
Do tell your mother how much you missed her. You were always my favorite. Don't tell your sister. Tell me about the war. I heard some of your friends died there. Killed by pirates. How did you survive? So am I. You can't guess how glad I am. But did you like the life in the Legion? Do you want to be a career soldier? They say the moment a man goes to war, his soul changes. Your father did not enjoy the legions either.
Domina, with all due respect, I guess the Legatus has his own questions. Am I wrong?
Oh, they were polite, mostly. Except for the fact they wanted me confined to this villa. I guess having me walking around the streets was too much of a risk. Once you were out of the picture. He had no reason to antagonize me, though. I do, and Aculus agreed. It was a sinister plan to take over our family. But now you're here, and everything will be fine. They told me your sister's husband is dead. She should be free by now. I wonder if they did something to her. It's good to have you home, and for it to be our home again. Now that you're back, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Oh, listen to me. You just got here. Go on, take some time to settle in. Let me know when you're ready to get to work.
Excuse me.
Your mother has started catching me up on how the vineyards have been going since we left. The harvest was better than expected. That is good news, of course, but it also means we have a problem. One of our grapes produced a particularly good wine. It's an opulent vintage with a smooth finish. Quite frankly, Domine, it is one of the best wines I have ever tasted. Oh, but I do. And you know I've tasted a lot of excellent wines throughout my life. This wine ranks among the best of the best. Winemaking is not an exact science. We do follow recipes, but we are subject to the whims of Dionysus. Every now and then he favors you, and you may produce a wine of this caliber. It means the wine has a rich and smooth taste. An opulent wine is a bold wine. Do not worry. Wine terminology can be weird and obscure. You will get used to it in time. The question is what we shall do with this wine. It's certainly worth more than what we normally sell for. It's the best kind of problem to have. It might be a good idea to visit some of the merchants in the market. Before you leave, there's a small thing we have to decide. A good wine deserves a good name. What should we name this one? Minerva's Wisdom it is. A good name. and not without a touch of irony. Very well. That being settled, you should go and talk to the wine merchants. I had no doubts. You've made everyone proud, and this victory is cause for celebration. I shall cook today. Our legal system has its own intricacies, which no one but people like Kikaro understand. I'm sure the powers that be worked their magic. I don't know, it's your house. Sit back and relax and let your Sir-We handle things. Do bear in mind that managing an estate is no simple task, though. Now that your father is no longer with us, you will have to find a way to generate income. I think we should focus on the wine business. There used to be a lot of money in your vineyards.
Do you need me?
Do you need me? Domina Claudiana has been so worried for you.
Have you tasted this year's batch from the vineyards? It's divine.
Have a nice day. Domino?
Do you need me?
It's so good to have you back home safe and sound.
Do you need me?
I'm so glad to be rid of those lictors. The way they looked at me.
How is it? You don't like the dress? Is it normal in Rome for important people to make such shameless advances on their guards? Is good we are not normal, then? In some ways it is. In others, it is not. City is big. I have never seen anything like it. And there are so many things to buy, so many different people. I love that. But there is a strange way people talk to me. Not because I am foreign, I think, but because I am woman. That I don't like. I would like that, if it is fine with you. This villa is amazing. So many statues and fancy carpets. I love your garden. It's so lush and green. And trickle of fountain calms me down.
Are you going to feed the horses?
I am. Is there something I should know?
Don't walk behind the grey mare. A few weeks ago, she kicked a stable boy and nearly killed him.
I'll be careful.
Feel under the weather? I will attend to your health. Salve legate. Are you looking for medical supplies? The world may be large, but Rome is smaller than you'd think in some ways. People talk, and you are mildly famous. Tell me what you need, and I shall provide you with everything. Every healer I know dreams of going to war with the legions. But bones do not only break in battle. Life in Rome can sometimes be a battlefield. I do not charge for the act of healing. I charge for the items I use. My potions and bandages do not come cheap. It would have been fortuitous if the gods simply granted such materials. But healing is the art of mortal hands, and mortal hands need denarii. I have some linen I can spare. You could buy some if you want to make bandages. This bottle could also prove to be interesting for you. It's a concoction that works against the effects of many poisons. The machinations of the senatorial class can occasionally turn very bitter indeed. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. Good. You should make sure to consult a trained healer in mixing this, however. The wrong application could turn ugly. Of that, I have plenty. How many do you need? Linen is not so difficult to find, but if you do find yourself short on it, I will still be here.
A fine reward is offered for the return of a horse stolen from the stables of Proculus Sinicius Hilario.
Special discount for ladies with blue hair. Away. What brings you to the land of wine today? If wine is what you seek, you have come to the right place. My wine is much better than those of Marcellus Vipsanius. That's what I call it. This area of the market belongs to the Collegium Venariorum. We are an association of all the wine merchants in Rome. Oh, indeed. I recognize you now. Welcome to my stall, then. Are you looking to sell? He prioritizes customer satisfaction at the cost of morality and the law. He lies, cheats, and threatens. In the end, he acquires the best vintages. Some of us do, but many of us purchase wine from vineyards and sell it here at the market. I would be very interested, but the rules state that I have to call the other merchants for a tasting. We each must have an equal opportunity. Exciting! This is brilliant! Exquisite! The best wine I have tasted this year. You know, your father and my father used to trade, but I do not believe they ever achieved this level of excellence.
I do not know, Quintus. It does have a harsh finish.
I would call it nutty. Some really good wine, though. I could sell this for years. Dominic, would you consider a 5-year deal? I'm willing to buy a 5th of your stock this year, and another 5th next year, and so on. For each batch, I would offer you 1,000 denarii.
I won't risk that. Tastes change, and demands change with them. I'll pay you 3,500 denarii. Sure, it is less than you'd get from Claudius over 5 years, but I want all of this wine now.
I agree, it is a good wine. I will buy all of your stock right now, and I'll pay 4,000 denarii, more than Quintus is willing to part with. Half now, and half when I take delivery.
I am an honest trader, Legate. My father used to deal with your father before either of us was born. I will sell your wine to the best clients and pay for all of it up front.
The deal favors us both. I pay less now, and you have greater profits in the long term.
It's good money. More than what Quintus pays, and you'll get paid as soon as I take delivery. In exchange, your wine will be sold at the best tavern in Rome. It's an offer you cannot refuse. I'm sure you've made the right choice, and that you know what's good for you.
Your business acumen is impressive. I agree to your terms and revise the offer. I shall pay you 6,000 denarii over the next 5 years.
Preposterous. You can't make a deal with these fools. Mark my words, you will regret this. I give you one last chance to change your mind. You have missed out on a great business venture.
I will make the arrangements at once. You will receive the first installment soon.
It is good the smith Sextus has returned from the war. I've missed his work greatly.
He's working on new locks for me already. I've been asked to change all the locks in my Dominus's villa.
You came! That much should be clear from the look on my face. But I really didn't expect you to appear here, of all places. My apologies for doubting your sincerity. Woman, bring us a fresh jug. My friend is still sober, and that's simply not acceptable. Now, what are we drinking to? May they drink the finest nectar in the halls of Hades. That hit the spot. Another one? I'll tell you a secret. I can always drink another one. Another! Keep it pouring! And then I said, well, what can you say in that situation? Obviously, I asked, is that really a goat? Or a sorry excuse for a tentpole? It was. I still can't help but laugh. You know what people say in Africa? Wine makes the soul come out of you. You're all right, my friend. You're all right. I'm glad you came. Friendships that develop in war don't always stand the test of peacetime. More than I could count. I've walked on so many different kinds of soil, seen so many faces, and broken so many hearts. Marcellus Vipsenius is the best. Some say he's working on the recipes of the legendary Margot himself. Others say he smuggles his wine from Carthage. An amusing notion. Should I also get a wife and make a few little brats of my own? Not me. I'm an adventurer at heart, and an adventurer never rests. Sure, life is full of pain and misery, but it's also full of beauty and wonder. You should endure the former and live for the latter. There's so much to experience still. To people like us, settling down is like death. Something you don't long for, nor expect.
Another jug, Domini.
That will be all, Soa.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you, Domina. May we perhaps retreat to a private chamber?
I know. It's a blessing and a curse. Out with it, woman. What do you want?
I think I am with child. You are the father of my child. Future child. Don't you remember me, Aquilinos?
What? I don't know. I've never seen this woman in my life.
You told me you would not remember me. Afterwards. And I respected that in a way, but now I need your help. Marcellus Vipsanius doesn't like his girls giving birth. He's a cruel man. I remember how kind you were to me. My child deserves better. Our child. Even if you don't want to have anything to do with me, I want our child safe and away from this shithole. Will you save me?
Indeed. Perhaps we should inform the Kensos.
Quit bothering the guests, look here. These jugs will not deliver themselves.
Help me, please.
Quickly, Thawa.
The night has taken an unusual turn. I apologize. I don't, but I do tend to forget some things when I'm drunk. Still, I find it hard to believe I'd forget the mother of my own child. Maybe, not entirely. Times like these, I wish Callida were here. That woman has a knack for spotting a lie. Probably not. But what if it really is my child? I don't know what to make of any of this. I'll have to think. Thank you, my friend. That means a lot. You go. I suddenly have much to think about.
His own brother killed him. He admitted it in front of the Senate.
That's outrageous. And he was a senator too. What kind of man kills a member of his own family?
Personally, I think it was brave. These patricians always put their family ahead of the people they're supposed to serve. They're corrupt, the lot of them.
I guess it is refreshing to see a man who would give up so much in the fight against corruption.
Clean linen for bandages, fresh medicinal herbs.
Or is it just me?
It isn't you. The bread is getting worse. I've noticed it as well.
The Collegium Pistorum is not what it used to be.
The problem is Egypt. The conflict of succession is interrupting the grain supply.
Typical. Perhaps it's time Rome takes a more direct interest in how that country is governed.
So you found me again. But you're a civilian now. Here you are, just another customer in my smithy. Only because you've never met any of my competitors, I'm sure. I don't suppose you're in the market for some carpentry tools? There is no market for such tools in peacetime. And of course, weapons are not allowed inside the pomerium. Tell you what, I do have something here you might be interested in. Have you ever heard the legend of the Ancile? Well, I'm not much of a storyteller, but they say the shield of Mars fell from the sky during the reign of Numa Pompilius. In his wisdom, the king ordered 11 copies to be forged. They were stored alongside the original in the Temple of Mars. I have come into possession of one of them. Or perhaps it's the original, who knows? But you see, even a replica, ancient and storied as it is worth a small fortune. If nothing else, it's an exquisite artifact of a bygone age. Then, if you buy it from me, you should take good care of it. You are as savvy in business as you are in warfare, I see. I do have an assistant, my daughter. She is all I can afford. But today she is with her teacher learning history or Greek or some other such high-minded nonsense. The hope is if he fills her head with enough such drivel, she will find a wealthy husband so she'll never have to peddle my pots and pans again. A fair price, I should say. Very well. The Ancile is yours. I cannot guarantee that it once belonged to a god, but you have my word that it is a good shield, and it will serve you well should you ever use it in combat.
Just go talk to him.
Not when he's at work. Then I'll never know if he's just being nice to me because he's being paid to be.
Come on, girl. You think a plebeian boy like that would say no to someone with your family tree?
Good you're here. Let us begin. First, tell me what you thought about my question. Certainly, I wanted you to think about the meaning of life. Yours or mine, it doesn't matter. What do you think the meaning of life is? The purpose of it? Isn't that a bit pointless? Do we live to live? A point? Perhaps not. But a reason is what everything must have. Everything is the consequence of another thing. To understand reasons, we must understand causes. We must know the root cause of all there is and all there will ever be, the stones of which the universe is made, or what we call the first principle. In a way, those may be the first principles of fighting. Your distance and your stance change based on your tools and foes, but they are common elements to all fighting. Yet logic and observation dictates there must be. No one really knows what the first principle is, but thinking about it is the first step in finding one's purpose. Opinions are divided. Some say the first principle is water. Others say it's wind, fire, or earth. What do you think the first principle might be? Do not think of it as water itself. Anaximandros says the first principle is fluid and water-like. It is the indeterminate boundless. He calls it the realm of the infinite, which is in eternal motion. When things exist, they become finite. But when they cease to exist, they go back to the water of infinity. An interesting take on the tale of the basilisk. Indeed. Perhaps our actions turn our ideas into stone. It is not about strength. Anaximenes believes the wind is the soul of the world, because it is the wind that makes us breathe and live. He also posits that all other elements are derived from air. Fire happens when wind blows too fast, yet water happens when the air is too slow. Maybe. I don't think a rock has breath, though. It's more about the inherent movement of fire than the destructive force thereof. Heraclitus says fire is change, and as such, the only thing that is always the same. Everything changes. Nothing ever is. We are all in the process of becoming, and never stop. Change is the only common element in the world. It doesn't, but it means fire is in everything. Or maybe nothing comes out of anything. Parmenides said nothing can ever be seen in the process of becoming. Things always just are. A process of change is just a trick of our senses. At any given moment, things are stationary. If your senses are not reliable, how could you ever know? And that is what Empedocles says. He believes any or all of those can be the answer. It depends on the situation or person. But I believe that to be a non-answer. Right is defined by the existence of wrong. Right is the absence of wrong. If everything is right, then nothing is right, for nothing is wrong. Who knows? Thinking about the first principle is a way of thinking about the world. And only by knowing the world clearly can you know yourself. Most certainly, but that hardly matters until you know what you're fighting for. Only then you can trust your actions. Only then can you be a good man. Only then can you be free. Perhaps because your mind is not free. A man who is not allowed to do what he wants, can such a man be truly free? Because you're free to look anywhere, but you do not know where to begin. Sometimes an abundance of freedom can be as restricting as the lack thereof. You may pursue your own happiness, but when it comes at the cost of someone else's, can you be called a good man? A good man can sacrifice his own happiness for that of others. You can do that even if you're usually a bringer of pain. Happiness is the absence of misery. If you do not know how to make people happy, then you can try to eliminate misery. By doing that, you can be a good man. You can try, and the Bestia Tabat I know excels at overcoming difficult obstacles. It is your goal in life, Bestia. Just like your sister, you are partly stuck in the realm of ideas. You will not be complete until you find her, or find her not. You are a child, Bestia. No one will hold you to account for what you thought back then. Never forget that actions always speak louder than thoughts or words. Who knows whose Serwa your sister is now? Do you want me to be honest? What matters is not if you will find her, but what you will do if you find her. You're welcome, Discipule. I can only ask the right questions. It is you who should find the answers.
I see him, by fire, talking to his friend.
Let's find a way to let him down easy.
You came, and you have brought Deanira.
Calidar is showing me around. This city is big, bigger than I thought. We have seen many dresses, some of them actually pink.
Bright red, a bright color of warning, a predator's color. Pink looks good on you, Deanira.
Thank you. What is this place? Why are you here always? A place for your war god? Why do you have so many gods? People are difficult enough. Gods are worse.
You speak truth. Perhaps our souls are lonely, and that's why we need many gods.
There! Stop right there! You're coming with us!
Please, do not make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Do you know these Landakai?
They told me you were back in the city. I did not believe it. I do not know what kind of god possessed you, for I do not know which of these gods is more foolish.
Mars watches over us here. Mind your words.
You are a criminal. You are a disgrace to our family. Because of what you've done, we all will be infamous. Only I can speak for our family now.
Kill whom?
Accident. It was an accident. When you drop a jug of water and it shatters, that is an accident. When you push your own husband down the stairs and shatter his skull, well, I believe they call that murder. Father is dead. I think he died of grief because his only daughter acts as if she's a man. Your tongue is as sharp as your blade. Indeed, I don't like playing with swords and bows, but at least I don't murder innocent men.
Arrested? For what?
She killed a man.
I kill men all the time. When they deserve it.
Rome does not look kindly on women who kill men, regardless of how much the man deserved it.
Deserved? I didn't realize marriage was a capital offense. He was your husband. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants, and you're still not allowed to kill him. Yulia, please. I do not want to see you hurt. Surrender peacefully.
That sounds like a threat, little man. Threatening the wrong person can get you killed.
What? Are you her gladiator lover or something? What do you mean?
Usually, what I say.
Do you think you're in a position to threaten me?
What did I say, little man?
Don't hurt him too badly, guys. Don't worry. We won't.
We will just teach him a lesson he will not soon forget. one left. Disappointing.
Curse this mess! Aulus, you fool!
Oh. He will be fine. More guards may be coming. It is time to leave now.
How is it?
Is everything well, dear? They told me Lucullus is your patronus now. That means our family reputation will be restored.
That and more.
Lucius, Louiana. It's so good to see you again, Mother. And brother, you're back.
Isn't that a beautiful sight? You are the patriarch of this family now. The well-being of it is your primary concern. The villa is yours. All of your rights are restored. Congratulations.
I don't know how we can ever repay you, Lucius.
There's no need to repay anything. You of all people should know that, Claudiana. This was not a transaction. I'll keep that in mind.
Is that it? But what if
Don't
they...
worry, Claudiana. No one can harm your family as long as I am alive. Everything will be fine.